Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday.
Carry now for Adrian Peterson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage with a flag down here to boot. So they may back up further.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Now that's a gain of 6 on the 1st down run.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game. It's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
11 more on that one and another 1st down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he gets it down to the 32. It'll be a Redskin 1st down as Smith hits Crowder.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this 1st drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Nigel Bradham in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback.
comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled.
And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call.
Offside. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
They run it here with Thompson. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
On the ground, it's Thompson. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now Thompson. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. And just a yard on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 4.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. From the 50, it's Smith. Doxson with a grab over the middle. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. Smith finding Doxson that time for a Washington first.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for him, too.
Now Smith. On the catch, it's Crowder. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Give him 30 yards there.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
3rd and long, it's Smith. Looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Avonte Maddox. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, That does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll run with Thompson. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
It's brought in by Dodson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Back to throw, Smith. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Smith. And he's got room. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Smith on 1st down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A good pickup there on 1st as the screen pass gets him 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And they'll go on the ground. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to pick up the 1st before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one can.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. This one caught by Crowder. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Taking it about the 16. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over first and... So out now come the Redskins. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Out of the gun, Smith. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Brown. And this one will be brought back to the 22. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Smith now throwing on 3rd and long. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. And just like... On first down, Smith. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On second down, here's Smith. And he finds the tight end, Reed. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Smith finding his big tight end Reed for a Redskins first. Smith now 12 of 15 throwing the ball. 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On third down, it's Thompson. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Well, that wasn't exactly a work of art, was it?
No, that wasn't a thing of beauty. This is why I don't play in points per reception fantasy league.
Is that what they call
the receiver still gets a point there. Yeah.
Oh.
And you went that far back. No bueno. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And he'll actually lose 6 yards on... The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Someone moved. Flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Again, a run with Thompson. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. That'll be caught right side by Reed. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
Smith now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. On 1st down, it's Smith. Caught on the right side, Reed. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. A great Monday night to wrap up the week in football. 2 division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10. Smith completes it right side to Dodson. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
On second down, Peterson. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a third and about 3 to go. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. And on the ground they go with the running back. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're... Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Here's Smith on 3rd down. And Reed with it over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
To throw on 2nd down, Smith. And this one complete to Reed. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On 3rd down, Smith. Out to the left, it's complete to Dykson. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Throwing is Smith. Crowder's got it over the middle. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Smith. Out to the left here to Reed. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Well, look at Darren. On 1st and 10, Smith. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Back to the ground. This time it's Peterson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Taken in at the 22. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And here come the Redskins now. They're set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Smith now to throw. It's hauled in by Dodson. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he stopped immediately there. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And they'll run it here. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now Smith to throw on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Well, I know you're toward the middle of the field here, but still, 4th down this distance. You got to punt it right.
That's definitely the first instinct because you say, okay, let's just play some field position, make sure we don't lose the game here, turn it over in a key spot. But if you feel really good about your trigger guy, if you feel great about him, you might want to leave the ball in his hands and let him work his magic.
Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I